Hello, Internet. It is us yet again. Time for Game and Watch.
Game and Watch. I'm Richie.
I, as always, am Aaron. What are we playing today, Richie?
Today we're playing the 2015 hit Rocket League.
All right, and this is a favorite of yours, isn't it?
It sure is. I'm not great at it, but I'm okay.
But you enjoy it, eh?
Oh, I absolutely love this game.
Right on.
Soccer with cars that fly, like, where can you go wrong?
What more could you ask for? I'm loving that car in particular.
Captain Daddy. He's one of my favorites for sure.
That's what they call me.
Hey, I love to hear it. And then there's the number one champ here.
That's a good one too. That's what they call you.
Yeah, here's my try-hard car. When things get a little too sweaty.
Okay.
And another
God.
Captain Daddy.
With a dead dolphin on it.
Hell yeah, and look at those cracking wheels.
Oh wow. Just like the new Seattle hockey team.
The Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing this season, right? They start next season?
Yeah, next season.
Righteous. So what did you watch from 2015?
Well, it's a movie that has been long on my list of kind of Game and Watch style movies of the let's say out of the direct mainstream and into the slightly strange films. I watched Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, I believe we were talking about this one.
Yeah, we discussed it, and I forget exactly what I said about it, but I had thought it was gonna be just like total garbage, and it turns out it's only
Partial garbage?
it's only mostly garbage.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh no!
whew.
I may interject with some oh no's and some oohs and ahs.
Hey, please do, please do.
Fuck!
Oh,
Oh, look at those hearts.
so okay, so this is. I didn't realize it was a Wachowski's movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and like when I started watching it, I mean, it's got like big actors in it and stuff. It's got Mila Kunis as the star, and then there's like Channing Tatum I knew was in it. But I was like, this looks a little too polished and like well filmed to be made by like just like Joe Schmo, you know what I mean?
Right, Joe Schmo doesn't have that kind of money.
No, that's very true. Let me see. I didn't look at the budget. It says somewhere between 176 and 200 million.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, and it's it shows on screen. It looks generally pretty good. There's some of that like Wachowski's like weirdness to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like their visual style.
Yeah, just like they're gonna try some things, and
And it might or might not land.
yeah, that's basically the thing, and it's a mixed bag here. Like some things are kind of on the what I would call the stupid side of like looking a little silly, and some things like because they're trying to go out there a little bit, sometimes they work. But like overall, I expected to just be like either laughing or bored through this thing, and at times I was, but honestly,
You were laughing and bored?
well, I was oscillating between laughing and bored, and then but also a third surprising mode of enjoying myself and being like interested in the plot and like enjoying the characters and surprisingly enjoying Channing Tatum's performance of all people.
Really? Does
It's not.
he do some like comedic relief, or is it more of a straight man role?
He, that's he's. I'd say he's more of a straight man. They give a little more of the comic relief to
Mila Kunis.
Mila. Yeah, at times I wouldn't say there's that much comic relief. Like, so I'll get a little bit into the plot here. It's kind of hard to go into all of it because it is convoluted.
Was it an original story, or was it based off of a book?
As far as I can tell, it's an original story, which I appreciate. Like
You don't see enough of those, that's for sure.
yeah, and that I think that's part of the reason why I had some real affection for this thing. In that it was like, it's not just they're not just banking off some other property. Like they're banking off the names involved. Like the stars and the director writers. But at least it's an original vision of their own.
So it was all the Wachowskis? It was just all them?
Yeah. They wrote and directed it. And let's see. There was a thing I read where
What the fuck? I don't know if you saw that.
I missed it. What happened?
My ball was like almost 100% in their goal, and then it bounced out.
Oh my god.
The old 98%.
Is the 5 score there the other person?
Yeah, not doing my best right now, but it's okay. I can still come back.
Is this a 1v1 type game?
Not typically. The most common game mode's probably 3v3.
What is this match?
This is called Duel. And so it's just 1v1.
So this is a 1v1 match in particular.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the stakes are high, and the only person to blame is myself.
Right on. The only, I mean, nice block. The only like experience I have with similar things are like the rip-offs of it, with like Lucio Ball in Overwatch, and there's a what's that game that's popular with the Fall Guys?
Oh, yeah.
Fall Guys has a game in it like this. Yeah.
36 seconds. I need to make 3 shots.
Wentworth.
877 cash now.
Brought to you by J.G. Wentworth. Are they still around? Who knows?
He sure is.
He is.
Still looking for that sponsorship, that's for sure.
On the Wikipedia for Jupiter Ascending, it says that Lana based it a little bit off of her favorite book, The Odyssey. Which, I mean, that's
It's a good basis.
Going back for your references there, but it's yeah. I mean, describing the plot is okay. So Mila Kunis is she's a human on Earth. Her name is Jupiter, which,
I mean, if her parents are hippies, it makes some sense.
like, I don't know. Her dad was like this astronomer he was like this English guy who was in Russia, and like, I don't know, he liked the stars, and then her mom is Russian. And she was born on a boat. I don't know. It's a whole thing, Richie. Anyway, her dad dies when she's very young. He's killed by these folks. I never quite understood who they were, but while they're like invading their house, like he really wants to keep this telescope. Like that's his main thing.
His pride and joy.
I don't even think he's really like he seems more concerned with the telescope than his wife and child, to be honest. But
It's probably a really expensive telescope.
well, it's carried on. His love of telescopes is carried on. There we go. His love of telescopes is carried on to Mila Kunis, because there's this scene later, like when she's like growing up in Mila Kunis, and she's got like a job as a house cleaner for people. So like there's a lot of scenes of her cleaning toilets.
Is there really?
Yeah, a lot actually.
That is not expected at all.
And but there's like her cousin is trying to convince her to sell her eggs, so that he can make. Somehow he is making $10,000 and she is making $5,000. I didn't understand that at all.
That doesn't seem very fair.
It doesn't, and they're making a statement there, but I don't. Anyway, they while he's trying to convince her, she's looking at this eBay listing for a telescope that's like $4,000.
Jesus.
It's like most of this thing is gonna go into this telescope, and I was like, is this supposed to be like the telescope that her father lost, or like what? You can get less expensive telescopes. It doesn't look like a huge telescope or anything like that. It's just like really old fashioned.
Maybe it's a vintage. It's an antique.
But like,
it belongs in a museum.
Spoiler alert! At the end, her family does get her this telescope, and it looks brand new. Like it's shiny. It doesn't look like an old telescope, and it's not like, it doesn't imply, at least to me, that it was her father's telescope. Maybe I read that wrong, but it seems like a lot to go through to get a telescope.
It represents her father's love of the stars.
Yes, I mean it does. I agree. Anyway. It was just the weirdest thing, and just like stuck with me. Like it was distracting. Anyway, so like I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty too much, because it is nitty and gritty as you get. But so she ends up being this like space princess, basically. Like the human race didn't start on Earth. Actually, we're kind of going into that Tarzan movie here. The human race didn't start on Earth.
Same universe.
It started somewhere else, and there
Jupiter?
well, Jupiter is involved. It started elsewhere, and like the rich like humans from other planets have like set up human colonies on other like lesser planets, like thousands of lesser planets, in order to harvest human bodies in order to make the rich people younger. That's about as simple as I can get with it. Like the Wachowski sisters like this whole human harvesting thing, but it's this thing where it's like the evil family is like showing her these tubes, and he's like telling her, it's like, oh, like this was we had to kill 100 humans to make this one tube. And then she drops it on the ground, and it's like it breaks and splatters, and it's like, oh well,
there goes 100 humans.
Just wasted 100 human lives. Great going, Jupiter.
Good job, Jupiter. Way to ascend.
Oh my god. And so like the rich family, I don't remember their name. It's
The Rockefellers.
it sounds like I really love this movie, but like there is a lot to there is a lot to hate here. So it's like it's even more surprising that I net enjoyed this movie. But like the evil family Abrasics, um, I didn't understand all of it, but there's like, so Eddie Redmayne is like the most evil of them, and he's got the rights to Earth, like as one of the like harvesting places where like they get to a certain point, then they harvest everybody there, they kill them all, and then they make them into young juice.
Young Juice.
The tastiest of all juices.
That'd be a good rap name.
Young Juice.
Sup, I'm Young Juice.
That one got me. Eddie Redmayne is like the most like evil of the evils, but his acting choice in here, I could not get my head around. Like this was like, he has, I don't know if this is a directing choice or if it is an actor choice. Somewhere somebody should have said no, because he is just whispering. He's like Voldemort whispering the whole movie, except for I counted it. It was, there are some yelps of like pain and anger and stuff like that towards the end when he's like particularly like mad at Mila Kunis, but like he yells 7 words and the rest are utter whispers.
Are they like hard to decipher whispers too?
They're so, like, if I didn't have the subtitles on, I wouldn't have understood a word he was saying.
Yikes.
Pretend like you're at the drive-through person at McDonald's, and I'll be Eddie Redmayne ordering his meal.
Okay. Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you?
I would like a number 1.
A number what?
Number 1 Big Mac, please, with no pickles.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to speak into the intercom, please.
I would like no pickles on my burgers, because
Sir, you're scaring me.
it is the only thing that I would like to eat. It is literally only like 1 or 100, and he's only in 100 for 7 net total words in this thing, and at 1 for 90% of his dialogue. It is crazy. Who let that happen?
He probably took the liberty. He was probably like, I got this. Chill out. It's gonna be awesome.
I understand this character so much. It's so funny because like there's a scene at the end where like Mila Kunis is like in his like throne room, and she's talking to him. She's like 50 feet away, and he's facing away from her, and he is just talking in this little whisper where you can barely hear him. But like she's just acting like she knows what he's saying because she's read the script. But you could just like really easily do a sketch about that, but like unfortunately I don't think Jupiter Ascending is enough of a thing that people have watched to make it happen.
To spoof. We'll make it happen. We'll spoof it.
It is crazy. I like that. I think that may have been part of my appreciation for this movie, in that it has like memorable things about it like that, like those like tasty bad movie gems of like a really weird choice here. What is this game mode, Richie?
This is Snow Day. Welcome to the ice rink.
Are you playing with multiple people? Oh, you're playing hockey.
I sure am playing hockey with
Hey.
strangers. Look at that puck.
How many people are on your team?
3v3.
Okay. A classic Lucio ball setup here.
Puck yeah.
Puck, yeah.
Was that a line in any of the Mighty Ducks movies? Because if it wasn't,
Oh,
it should have been.
It must have been, right?
What the puck, man?
If they, I'm sure they did, because they like cuss in those movies and stuff. So I'm sure they had like a puck joke.
I mean, why the puck wouldn't they?
Missed opportunity if not.
Indeed.
I haven't even really mentioned Channing Tatum besides the fact that he gave a decent performance. So he's like the evil folks are kind of like trying to, like, on one hand, like, I think there are competing siblings. So like some of them are trying to get Mila Kunis royal so that they can kill her. I don't know, and like stick it to Eddie Redmayne. Anyway, so they try to like capture her while she's donating her eggs, or selling her eggs rather.
When she's most vulnerable.
Yeah, and they've like, it's kind of fun. Like they take over the clinic as these, like, you know, supposed humans, but they're these aliens called shadows, and they basically look like your classic gray alien.
Okay, yeah, the classic Greys.
But they can transform, like, their appearance into humans.
Okay.
So I appreciated the little nod to UFO shit in there.
I do enjoy good use of, like, the classic Greys, you know?
Like trying to explain, like, alien theory stuff. Like that's always fun to me.
In Stargate, the Greys are actually, because all the aliens are, like, based off of mythological gods.
Oh, okay.
And the Greys are actually the Norse gods.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
That's fun. Is Stargate worth watching?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
It was a very enjoyable experience. I couldn't get into Atlantis. It was a little too much for me.
Okay.
But maybe if I went back.
I think that's up on Netflix. I'll have to give that a shot at some
Make sure
point.
you start with the movie.
Okay. Right on. That's a recommendation. That's a classic Richie recommends.
Tune in for another one sometime in the future.
Who knows when it'll show up again? You'll just have to watch to find out. So Channing Tatum is this, like, bounty hunter, I guess is the simplest way I could put it. But like a good guy. And so he's in there, and he's been hired to like go rescue Mila Kunis or whatever. And so he does. And he's this, like, he's like very much lower class in the
Social hierarchy.
yeah, he's like this interesting species that has been crossed with something like a wolf, he says. And there's even this point where Mila Kunis is saying, she's basically like professing her love for him at a certain point, and he says, like, you know, you don't understand. I have much more in common with a dog than I do with you. And she's like, Oh, I love dogs. I've always loved dogs. It's pretty. It's pretty funny actually, and like they're playing that for comedy.
And it lands.
It lands with me, man.
I mean, your retelling of it landed with me, so I can only imagine.
It's pretty good. And you know, he is kind of in that like save the princess type role, which is pretty played. At certain points, she you know fends for herself, and she's like fighting Eddie Redmayne and stuff like that. But it's like there are a lot of situations in which she needs to like be rescued by him. And
Classic damsel in distress.
yeah, and that didn't really go over with me.
Save it for the Mario Brothers.
Yes. Besides that, there's a scene. Actually, Sean Bean is in this movie a little bit,
Oh hell yeah, I love Sean Bond.
which is always great to see. And so, like one of the first places that Channing Tatum takes Mila Kunis or Jupiter after he rescues her is to Sean Bean's like Earth house, and he has all these bees. Like there are bees everywhere, and they're just like flying, and like so like once Channing Tatum shows up at the door, like pretty much immediately Sean Bean starts like physically fighting him.
Oh,
And like they one of them like pushes the other off like the porch of the house, and they break this thing, and they break a bunch of beehives, and all these bees, like there are already bees like basically in clouds all around them, but like now there are literal bee clouds surrounding Mila Kunis, and she like kind of waves her arms, and they start like following where she's moving, and like they're like under her control basically. I think I wrote down the line.
the keeper of the bees.
It is pretty bizarre. And Sean Bean says to her later, he's like, "You've never been stung by a bee, have you? Bees are genetically designed to recognize royalty."
Whoa, I had no idea.
Well, like a queen bee, you know what I mean?
I mean, I suppose.
But that doesn't follow to like human royalty. What does that mean?
He,
Why bees?
not the bees.
Are you bowling? Oh, or is this a basketball court?
A basketball, but bowling would be pretty fucking awesome.
I know a sport.
You know a couple.
Oh, so you have to get it like up and over?
Yeah, gotta shoot it in.
I gotcha. Oh, and also like towards the end of the like Sean Bean sequence, like Mila Kunis gets captured by the evil royal family, and like the spaceship like leaves crop circles in his field. So there's cute little things like that. Also, Channing Tatum's facial hair is the worst.
Is it just a soul patch?
Well, it is. It's just the like goatee part, but just like something about the way that it's shaped. Like it's kind of like the goatee, and then like hints of sideburns on the way up, and it doesn't work on the boy.
I can kind of picture what you're saying, and in my head it does not look good.
Yeah. No, it's not great. But like, I don't know. They're so like, you know, with like the harvesting the entire Earth's worth of people and resources and stuff like that. I mean, they're going for this thing of like, you know, greed and overconsumption and like I think a lot of that is what was really like landing for me. And I think they, in general, did that pretty well, and it was effective. And maybe that's the reason that this movie, I thought was a net positive, because I think it has an interesting, it has interesting
Message?
things to say.
Okay. And how does the movie look?
Overall, it's a mixed bag, because it's filmed pretty well, generally filmed pretty well. A lot of the costume design, like I was saying earlier, is just kind of that Wachowski's weirdness. Like, I think back to the second Matrix movie where there's like those twins that have like the very
The long
large
hair.
foreheads and like the dreadlocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just that kind of thing. Like sometimes it works for me. Sometimes it's just like it ain't quite there. But like, the CG that they use, they use a lot of it, and so at times it feels a little Star Wars prequels,
Ooh.
but at other times it feels good. But like I said, it's a mixed bag. It's not like visually sumptuous, I would say, but it's like there are parts that are. And there are good designs going on. Like the first thing I noticed was one of these like bounty hunter characters was like riding on this kind of Star Wars speeder bike type thing, and I was like, man, that looks really cool. And like it was clearly like a real prop that she was on, and it was like that was actually the point where I looked up and was like, who directed this? Because there's like a little bit more going on than your average movie, and they're trying something pretty cool.
Yeah, see, from like the posters, and I'm not even sure if I ever saw a trailer, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like it would be like a real visually driven movie. So to hear that it wasn't is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean there is a lot going on visually. I think sometimes too much. Like there's like a fight at the end with Channing Tatum and this like dragon man, like Trogdor.
Trogdor?
Yeah. And it's just like the camera is so fast moving, and there's like in those like CG shots where it's like, okay, we can like we have the budget to put in like everything we want to see here, and there's like lava splattering and building like parts falling down and stuff, and it's like too much. I can't take it all in. It's just like visual noise. But
Sensory overload.
Sensory overload, yeah, definitely. But like the grays like look really cool, and they've got like these really like long, like these legs that are too long and stuff like that, and they can like shift in and out of being able to be seen, and they can transform into humans. And I thought like all of that more simple, just like aesthetically cool stuff was cool. But once they tried to do like too much and have like too much CG going on, it just way too much for me.
Yeah. It's always better when they stick to practical effects in like any movie.
And there's a little bit of that going on with like their props and some sets, but yeah, too much CG, a lot of cheese, but just like in spite of itself, I liked this thing more than I didn't. I don't want to rate in a like the same way of like an A, B, C type thing, where it's like if it's 50%, it's an absolute failure. I think 50% for a movie like is pretty good. But I'd give it above that. I'd give it like a 38 out of 69 cats.
Oh, that's pretty damn good.
Like, as far as our movies so far, like, it's okay. Like, I may watch it again, and I would be happy to see a sequel for it.
Oh.
But I don't think it made back its money. And also, I mean, it was in 2015, and if we haven't seen a sequel or like heard about a sequel yet, I don't think we'll get one. And it like from my reading, it seemed like they wanted this to be a franchise, but it doesn't look like it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, if it didn't make its money back, and I feel like it's not a film with a cult following.
No, yeah, let me look at the Rotten Tomatoes score to see how other folks feel about this thing.
Classic Rotten Tomatoes.
It's 27% on the tomato meter, so 38% for audience score. Actually, my favorite number and my lucky number. So there you go.
Perfect.
Anyway, I am there. Theirs is out of 100. Ours is out of 69. So
Ours is far superior, for sure.
far superior, yes, and much funnier.
Because, I mean, come on, cats. Who doesn't love them?
Yeah, I mean, that's about all I got to say about Jupiter Ascending. It's your results may vary at home. I don't think it will be everybody's cup of tea. I don't know if it would be yours, Richie, but I kind of dug it. I may watch it again.
I mean, I'm intrigued. I may check it out at some point in the future, or I might just completely forget about it after tonight.
Maybe so. It is like 2 hours long, which is it's like a little bit over 2 hours long. So it's a little bit more of a commitment than like a hour and a half movie. But like I was saying with Seventh Son, which was under the 2 hour mark, I think that one suffered because they couldn't quite build the world in that time. And this one was able to flesh it out a little bit more.
That's the thing, when you're showing an audience like a completely new world, you kind of need to have a bit more time usually to really explain everything that's going on.
That's right. I mean, this one also, I mean, it did have kind of the shorthand of being able to start on Earth and then kind of have that fish out of water type deal going on. But yeah, I thought the time of it was an appropriate length. I'd say if you give it an hour and you're not quite into it at that point, I wouldn't bother sticking around to the end because I don't think it's going to grab you anymore. But it was about at the 45-minute point where I was like, huh, they're kind of doing something here. I kind of like it.
Okay. Any fun trivia about the film?
Let's see if IMDb has anything to tell me about Jupiter Ascending.
Oh. Aww.
No dice.
Fucking Doug damn. No trivia?
Well, I'm gonna go to the goofs section because I like that.
That's usually the best trivia is in the goofs.
Character error. When Jupiter notices Kane's wound, Kane is Channing Tatum's character, she takes a sanitary pad from the glove compartment of the car. She puts the non-absorbent side on the wound by mistake, which would be useless for wound care. You
Wow.
You goofed.
She done goofed.
You done goofed.
Learn how to clean the wounds, Mila Kunis. Come on now.
My my capacity to make words has completely left me. Wow, that I don't know what happened there, Richie.
It was a big goof.
Okay, it was such a big goof. Let me look at the trivia section.
Ooh, fuck. I fell right into his trap.
2:15 to go, Richie.
Here's where I come back.
Don't call it a comeback.
Oh.
Natalie Portman was originally cast as Jupiter Jones but dropped out. Rooney Mara was considered to replace her before Mila Kunis was finally cast.
Why did Natalie Portman back out?
It's a good question. I wonder what she was doing in 2015.
Annihilation, or was that a little bit after?
That was a little after 2018. Let's see. Well, she made... Wow. Whoa, what? Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she made 4 full-length movies in that year.
Wow.
And a video short.
She was busy.
Yeah. Although, I mean, it's like... It doesn't look like anything particularly big. Maybe they're just projects she was more interested in.
Ooh, passion projects?
Maybe so.
Those are usually better than a cash grab.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Ooh.
Who's the...
Oh, got him.
I was trying to see...
Maybe not.
Okay, so she had done a movie that was written by the Wachowskis with V for Vendetta, but that wasn't directed by them. It seems like a pair that you'd like want to work with on a directed project.
Yeah, especially when it's sci-fi, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess anything. They're usually pretty good. They did Speed Racer, right?
They did do Speed Racer.
I haven't seen that one either.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
To quote Stained. But I had a lot of fun with that in the theaters. Oh, come on. Oh my god. Come on.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
To take the lead.
There we go. Oh my god.
And now we're going to make the other guy watch the replay. When I score a goal, fish explode out of the goal. I don't know if you noticed.
I did not notice.
Hopefully I can score another goal to show you.
Well, I'll be able to see it when I edit this.
True. Very true. And give me that dub. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, a beautiful win. Just another Richie victory. And just another episode of Game and Watch.
It's been swell, and I've been Richie.
I've been Aaron. I've been surprised that I liked Jupiter Ascending. Again, your results may vary, but let us know what you think if you do end up watching it.
Indeed.
All right.
Until next week.
We'll see ya.
Don't forget to like that, subscribe, and subscribe to that like button.
Keep gaming and keep watching.
Cool. Oh yeah. And I promoted to platinum on that last one.